Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do my full review and a disassembly on the Axial Gear Enzi here. This is their folder. They named it after I unboxed it, so I know the name now. It's the Enzi. 2.9-inch blade. Not a huge knife overall. I have a large glove size hand. You can see how it just fits right there. Deep carry clip that I do have some issues with, but overall, I think it's a great knife. I think they did a great job on this for their first folder. This is made overseas. I don't know by who. If I had to guess, I'd say Concept or We. I think it's like 179 or 189 bucks on their website right now. It was in stock at the time of filming this. You can use my code LeftyEDC to get 10% off. I also have a link down below. You can use that to get 10% off, whatever you want to do. This was sent to me by Axial Gear, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. I just think it's a good knife. Now, if you want the brief description or overview here, I think it's a great knife. It's not for me because I just don't do I just don't do flipper only knives anymore, really. It has to be an absolutely amazing knife to stick around. I have one right now, I think, in the collection. And I don't think the Malibu counts because it has the button lock. So I would call that, it's not flipper only because you can, flip it out with the button like that. And it's just a little bit more fidgety with the button. So I just don't count that as flipper only. So I think the only one I have in the collection is the Aloni Knives Goat version 2. I could be wrong, but it's very, very few. I have a couple Finches. That's right. I have 2 Finches. So, but yeah. So let's get into it, and then we can take it apart. Aesthetically, I think it's a good-looking knife. You got the sheep's foot blade that I obviously love, or you could call it a reverse tanto, I guess. It's got a little bit of belly in it. Size comparison real quick. I'll put it up against the Devo Knives Stout. Pre-order for that is coming up on April 9th, guys, at 1 p.m. on our website, devoknives.com. I did design this, so if you're coming out of some weird place you haven't seen my channel before, this is my knife. This is my knife company with Colin Mason Pierre, so that's why I'm advertising it. April 9th, 1 p.m. for the Stout, but you can see the size there. It is a bit smaller. The Stout is 7.65 overall, and it's quite a bit bigger than the Enzi there. Here's the Malibu, since I just had that out as well, and that is even quite a bit longer. This is 3.25-inch blade. I don't know why I said it like that, because this is the same size as the Stout. I'll grab the Aloni Knives Goat version 2. Probably going to be about the same size here. That one's made by Riot. And there you go. It's just a slightly bit longer on the butt end, but about the same blade length. This has skiff bearings in it, and I love it. So, yeah, the aesthetic I think is really good. You got the titanium scales, which are very heavily milled out. We'll see that when we take it apart. You have this titanium clip, but very, very loose retention. That's kind of my contention with it. It is reversible, but there's a slot on this side and no slot on this side. It sits on top of the scale, so you do have the clip portion that is sticking up that your pants have to contend with. It's an issue for me. I wish they would have just actually left this a righty-only knife. And yes, I am left-handed, but I mean, either give us the equal clip or just forget it. You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of a half measure there, just dropping 2 screw holes. So you screwed up the aesthetic that righties hate, and then you didn't even give us the same, clip experience. It just seemed odd to me. So that's one of my negatives with the knife. Ergonomics, this is actually very comfortable. It's very neutral. You just kind of have that one choil and then a neutral handle grip. Neutral handle the rest of the way. I can feel that clip here on my finger a little bit as a lefty. Right-handed, you do feel the clip as well. It just kind of swoops up. There's no plateau at the end. I mean, you could maybe very little at the end, but you feel it in your palm. It's a very bendy clip, though. So it's not bad, but if you were really bearing down, you know, maybe it would bother you. You do have a flipper here you can kind of choke up on like this. You just need to be careful because the edge is right there. And it is a very sharp 20 CV blade steel. This is ground very well, in my opinion. It's a saber grind, so you have a flat grind here from here down. Very nice tip. It's not dainty. It's got some meat behind it, but it's not like super thick or anything. It just feels like a relatively thin grind. I just think they did a great job with it. Stock to begin with is not very thick. Maybe 12 thousandths, 11 thousandths, something like that. So yeah, cutting I think is really good. I very much enjoyed it. I did a lot of this pinch grip type stuff, cutting shipping labels, cutting into packaging, that kind of stuff. I did a little bit of this when doing that, cutting some paper. I did a little bit of cardboard cutting just to test it out, and I thought it did very well for that. You do need to be careful that you don't accidentally engage the edge here with your finger because it can happen. The plunge grind on this guy is, let's see, I hadn't really looked at it till now. Looks like it comes to full thickness, like right after the edge starts. So I think a lot of people would be bothered by that a little bit. Let's see if I can zoom in and show you. You guys tell me what you think. You can kind of see it there. Where the plunge ends is like right there, and the edge is already started. So they do give you a choil here, sharpening choil, but I guess it's kind of mitigated a little bit by that. But it's kind of like right at the edge, so it might be fine. I don't know. You guys tell me. Some of you guys are experts on this stuff. I'm not. I just want to show you there. Yeah. So I think cutting's good. It was comfortable in hand for cutting. I didn't do any extended cutting. It's just not how I roll. I did a lot of this because I'm not doing hard use. I'm not going to climb up onto that edge. I'm just kind of pulling back here and it's comfortable, right? Very Finch-like in that sense. Feels good. Carry. So the carry is good. With this clip, I thought it was fine carrying it right-handed, back left pocket. I really had no issues with it leaning, moving, anything like that. Now, again, the clip is very, very light. It's reminiscent of the Kunwu towel clip I always kind of mention when we have clips like this. Just very thin titanium, very easy to bend. I've had that experience with the towel. I haven't with this yet, but I can see this catching on something and then whoop, and it's going to be like this. And then you got to take it off, bend it, and it'll bend back fine. But it's just annoying. I don't like that. I'd just rather have a thicker clip. So you have that part of it. You have the weight is really good on it. I think for having full titanium scales and everything. The milling is extensive, so it's pretty lightweight. It's not like light, but it feels good in hand, you know. And then there was the stuff I complained about left-handed, because you can see the clip sits into a recess in the scale, right? See that? Well, on this side, they didn't do that. They just dropped 2 screw holes, and it sits on top. It's just kind of annoying to me. I tried it. You can see where the mark is from the clip right here. And it just bugs me. Like, why are you going to not give us the cutout? It already looks like shit with 2 screws, so people who are bothered by it aren't going to buy it because of that. So you might as well have just given us the cutout, and then we could have had equal clippage here, and I would have been happy, I think. So overall, the clip is a bit of a mess and a bit of a miss overall. But it's really like my only gripe with the knife, to be honest, other than maybe I'd want it to be bigger personally, but it's not even too small either. The sounds. Yeah, the sounds are good, guys. I give them like a 7 out of 10. Very satisfying on both ends. I enjoy it. Lock bar access, something I don't always talk about unless it's something that bothers me or I think is amazing. Maybe I should talk about that a little bit more because it's not part of, I guess, any of the categories I usually go through. But lock bar access is great. You can see here, cut out back here, and then you have this chamfer inside, and you just get great access. My finger's a little bit raw right now from this cut and some, you know, whatever, usual bullshit. But it still disengages so easily. There's the ever slightest bit of stick. I've had it since I got the knife. But it's like that. It's like I say sometimes. It's like that reassuring lock stick. And it's not even. I mean, you can't even hear it. You know what I mean? It's barely anything. I wouldn't even mention it. And it's probably just me getting oil on the lock face. And we'll see once we take it apart. The action, guys, is incredible. I want to note this before I take it apart. It is dead nut centered. Okay. The detent is perfect. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better detent. When you get it to break, it fires. And that's what I want, right? I don't want it to be too stiff to where it like hurts and I'm going to like slip off trying to get it to break. But when I get it to break, I want it to fly out and lock up. And that's exactly what it does. Disengaging, super smooth and easy. It drops to your nail and then it's just a smooth shakedown. Very smooth on these stock bearings. And I may not even think about replacing them because I think what's in there are the plastic cage ones. We're going to see, but that's what made me think it could be Concept. Maybe it could be Kaiser too because of that. I don't know. Lots of options, obviously, OEM-wise, just a thought. But yeah, the action's incredible, guys. You can see it's addictive. I sit here and flick it constantly. I mean, I do that in every video, but that's just kind of, this one's super fun. Detent lash or play. No. I mean, ever so slight, but that's like any knife. You're going to have a little bit of movement there. Nothing that would bug me. As of right now, there's no side to side and no up and down. So we'll see what happens once we get it apart. So I would say that is the full review. Excellent knife. I think a fantastic offering from Axial on their first go around for under $200 with 20 CV steel. You know, really good. I would pick one up. So here's the thing. Had they not sent me one, would I buy one? I would spend the money on it to try it. Now, ultimately, I wouldn't keep it because it's flipper only, right? But I think I would have paid for it anyway just to see how I liked it because it's a good enough looking knife and the price is good enough and all those things. So take that however you will. We're going to have a T8 here in our Get Good screw. Little Beach. Should be a T8. Yep. And I'm guessing we're going to have T6. Ooh. Okay, I was going to say, that was pretty Loctited up there. Let's see if it's D-shaped and all that. It better be because we have a captive pivot over here. Yep, we have a D down there. A D, you know what I mean? Put that in there. And then we're going to need T6. Yeah, T6 for the clip, but we may not need to take that off. So hang on. T6 down there too. That sucks. And people keep asking me to sell them one of my drivers. I'm not ready to do that. I just gave away the other... oh, what's going on here? See that separating? I just gave away I am giving... What the hell? I am giving away the other Get Good screw, the large one, on my Instagram. That's going to be done by the time you see this. So, and I'm going to hang on to the ones I have. Yeah, this thing is screaming concept at me right now. Just those bearings alone is just like, it's a concept. I know that sounds dumb, but that's just how I feel right now. And I could be wrong, and it doesn't matter. It's an OEM out of China, right? And they do plan to bring these in-house on the next run, they told me. Man, this thing is just sitting in there. I can't get the pivot out. There we go. It was twisted or something, yeah. These are good bearings. They're plastic cage ceramic bearings. That's a good bearing, guys. It's pretty dry too. Are they ceramic? Yep, there's ceramic balls in there. Just kind of smooth them out a little bit. I think they're a little gritty. Very good bearings here, guys. So, oh shit, till I lose one. So I would not let that bother you. If you saw this, don't be like, damn, those are shitty. No. They're not stamped, so there's no ass end to them. That's the important part. The bearings are sitting proud of each side. It's a plastic cage. These are basically what you would call Delrin bearings, which are very popular. Or I should say very good, you know what I mean? Alright, so let's clean off stuff. Yeah, I'm surprised at how dry it was. Could be a good thing. Not much to clean, guys. It's very clean in here. You can see the milling, though, right? Extensive milling. We have steel washers, of course. Ceramic detent ball. I'm cleaning off the lock face because we were getting that little bit of stick. So let's just make sure. Yeah, see, there's some oil on the tang here. And that's all it was. We have an internal stop pin and internal stop pin track. My kind of style right there. I'm going to clean the bearings in the alcohol just because they felt like something was, I don't know. And then we got to clean that pivot screw because it was caked with Loctite. You can see that white stuff. That's dried Loctite, in case you're wondering. That's the T6, T8. Yeah, that would be one of my, that's my biggest negative with the knife in terms of construction. You can see we got most of it off. Is that they went with T6 on body screws. Other than that, I mean, the construction, I think, is really well done. So you saw the knife kind of like came apart in a weird way, and that's a little concerning. So I think I was trying to get, which screw was I trying to get out? This one. And because here's the backspacer, and there's a pin in the backspacer, sort of a locating pin slash, you know, structural pin. This standoff is stuck to this guy, so it's just going to be a bit of a pain to get back together, but we should be fine. So the pivot goes through this side and locks into place because it has a D shape. So the D goes through here, much like a lot of knives. D shape runs across the bottom there. Let's get our KPLs out. As usual, guys, knifepivotlube.com. You can use my code LeftyTEN over there to get 10% off. And I do believe these labels were redesigned to not rub off the way they used to, but it is, you can see it's starting to come off a little bit. But I use these more than anybody, I bet. So, internal stop pin makes it so easy just to drop this bad boy on. I do want to put some KPL here. A little too much. There we go. Then I'm going to take a little bit of heavy and I'm going to put it on the detent track. I'm going to do the same thing I just did. KPL heavy, by the way, is highly recommended from me for detent tracks. I always just tap it and that kind of just takes a little bit off. And then put a little bit here. You put that on. Drop this down. So this is the fun part, okay? Because now we have this backspacer. I don't know why this bearing didn't want to. There we go. We have this backspacer and this pin. Which, where did that pin go? There it is. They should be on the other side, but because of the way that screw came out, I'm just going to have to sandwich it. It's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but I think we'll get it. So I'm just going to put a little bit here. And then we're going to drop this on. And we just need to seat it so this goes through that slot. It's a little bit more work than we want to do, but should be fine, just like that, I think. I'm going to re-tighten this pivot, but it seems like I need to get it in there just to get things started. So hold on. So we're not actually loose anywhere with the screw. I just have to tighten this screw back here. It's just sort of interesting to have to do it this way, but seems to be working. Either that or I'm really stripping the screw out right now. Nope. There we go. Yeah. So let me... Centering looks good, so let me just check it. Detent. Solid. Little bit of play there. Yeah, the action got better, which is good, but we haven't tightened all the way. There we go. No play. Look at that. Almost falls shut. That's impressive. So I just need to get some Loctite. And, yeah, it's staying together. This is all good, guys. The construction on this is very well done. I got to say, you just, after a while, you get used to constructions and what's good and what's not. And, I can basically just tell you this one's done extremely well. So for the price, I think this is going to be a hard one to beat, guys. You know, 100 and what did I say? 79, 189 minus 10% if you use my code. You know, you're saving 18 bucks, 19 bucks, $160 for this thing. I mean, pretty crazy, honestly, in 20 CV. Coming from a company that had it OEM, like, it's not like Kaiser's dropping this, right? A company like Kaiser made it for Axial Gear. So, no play, no rock. I mean, sheesh. As Brent would say, sheesh. Still no play. There it is. Look at that. Holy cow. Dead centered. Fires. Nothing. Drop. Gliding home. I mean, really, really good action here, guys. Last one before I end it because I don't want to ruin the Loctite. Oh! Yeah, this is a sheesh, guys. Go check out Backpack B. This knife is a sheesh all day. I'm impressed with the build quality. I'm impressed with the design. I'm impressed with the knife, the blade, and everything. I can't tell you what the HRC is or anything like that, but I can tell you this is a well-made piece of cutlery right here. And I think for the price, it's gonna be a hard one to beat. You know what I mean? So, anyway, if you're left-handed and you only carry lefty, this one's gonna be a question mark for you. I don't have to carry lefty because I carry back left pocket with righty knives. So I don't mind it staying over here, and I'd prefer it because I get a better experience with the clip. Plus, this would never be my primary knife anyway, right? So anyway, that's it, guys. Just a quick, so to speak, disassembly and reassembly of the Axial Gear Enzi folder / flipper. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I always appreciate hearing that. I wonder if you guys have one of these, if you're thinking of getting one. Do you think I'm crazy? You know, do you think I'm a shill? I truly think this is a good knife. Their knives, guys, they just seem to be doing a great job lately. Here's the recent shift they gave me, the updated one. They're doing things that we want. You know, they're coming out with an American-made OTF. Doesn't have a glass breaker. Has a deep carry fold-over clip. Great action that doesn't tear your fingers up. So they're listening to the people, you know. This is American-made. This is not. The next run will be, according to them. And then they also have a fixed blade that I have here, but that one I'm just going to send around with these. I'm going to be sending these around to some other channels to review. When they send me stuff, I always tell them, hey, I'm going to send these things around. I try to do that with any company that sends me knives to review. Yeah, these are technically my knives now, but like, I'd rather spread the wealth a little bit, maybe to smaller channels who don't have that kind of connection to a company, or channels who just prefer to not, you know, have affiliates, but they want to try these knives. I try to loan them out to whoever wants them. Once they come back, I decide if I give them away, keep them, whatever. Usually they end up getting given away. So anyway, that's it, guys. I love you all truly and dearly. Thank you all for the support that we've had. I've never really, haven't done like a 4K giveaway video. I'm working on it. I have some stuff coming. But thank you guys so much for helping me get there. This is not possible without you guys, and it means a lot. So hope you guys have a fantastic day. I love you all, and I will catch you later.